If everybody wants to take a look up here, I want to point out how to plot a graph when we're plotting variables that are not beside each other in a table. I'm also going to show you how to enter formulas in here. We've done this before, but I'll show you again how to enter formulas to save yourself some work with your calculator. See some data up here for radius, time for 20 revolutions, the second time for 20 revolutions, the second trial for that. And then, of course, you have average time that you need to calculate, the period that you need to calculate, and the speed that you need to calculate here. The average time is simply going to be found by saying equals. We always start a formula with equals. Now, what we could do is say this cell plus this cell divided by 2, but Google Sheets and Excel both have a built-in formula for average. All you got to do is type average, bracket, and then highlight the ones that you want to average. And the bracket equals. So there's the average of 8.79 and 8.54 seconds. Now the period would be equals the average time divided by what? 20. So the period would be 0.43325 seconds. And now finally the speed would be 2 times 3.14 pi times r. So you're going to not type in 0.2, but literally just click on the 0.2. And then divide that by 2 pi r divided by the period. Click on the period, press enter, and there's the speed. Now, the nice thing about this is not so much what I just did, because you can do that on your calculator just as quickly as I just did that. But the nice thing about that is that we can highlight all 3 of those columns and then click that little box in the bottom right-hand corner, drag it down, and all of a sudden, now I've got all my data filled in, or sorry, all my analysis table filled in. Now, I can tidy that up as well by clicking on these buttons, reducing the number of decimal places, or increasing the number of decimal places. Just tidying it up, making it a little bit neater, right? Now, when it's time to plot a graph of speed versus radius, what I would suggest you do in this case is follow the steps that I'm about to show you here. What we can usually do is just highlight my 2 columns and plot them, right? It automatically picks the 2 columns. But since the 2 columns I want are the first column and the last column, and there's a bunch of columns in between, then I'm going to suggest you highlight just the last column, insert your chart. Okay, we want a scatter plot, so let's scroll down to a scatter plot. And then notice what it says here. When you click on scatter plot, you notice it says X series and and then series here. What I want to do is click on the X series, and then I want to select this range right here that is my radius. The Y series is already selected because I selected it when I clicked on Insert Chart, right? It's the X series that's not selected. So remember, you selected your Y series, that's the speed. You insert your chart, select a scatter plot, and then it gives you the option to add an x-axis. You're going to select the radius for your x-axis, click OK, and there we go. Now you're going to, of course, change your title. My title will go from speed to speed versus radius. My horizontal axis will be radius in meters. My vertical axis will be speed in meters per second. And then I want to add a trend line as well. So click on series, add your trend line. I don't know, does that look, it's not bad, not bad. But let's try some other trend lines as well. Okay, that's a linear trend line. Let's try exponential. No, that definitely doesn't work. Let's try polynomial. Okay, that could work. What do you think looks better there, linear or polynomial? I think polynomial looks a little bit better in my graph here, right? Okay, you pick the one that looks best for your graph. All right? You do not need to, like you usually do, label it with the equation. Like, it's okay to do that, but it doesn't accomplish anything because in this lab you're just trying to find a relationship as opposed to an actual number.